What's going on? What's going on today? We're going to be doing some tech talk. This will be like episode one. This is tech talk. All right. So let me get something together here. Get my get my stuff together. Get my equipment. Get my tech together. Uh, so get right into it. So I'm gonna try to kind of spin some things differently, get some more content over to my other channel. Um, in case you didn't know, I am pretty much uh, professional. I've been an IT professional for close to close to about 20 years. Very close to it. That's what I know how to do. That's what all of the things you see, everything I got for the most part, money wise, is from working in tech for the most part. Now I do other stuff because I'm a hustler. I'm a entrepreneur, but for the most part, by actual um, trade, I'm pretty much am a technician, right? I can probably work on a space station. That's what I do for a living. That's my bread and butter. So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about that and some other current topics on the subject. Kind of mix it up. Yeah, I've talked a lot about other things, but one of the things that I also am aware of when it comes to technology, when it comes primarily to the black community, uh, the black community is only represented about 1%, one percentile in technology. Let me pull up some content from my page. Let me see what's going on here. I hear something going on. Let me see here. What do I hear? I hear something. Let's see here. What's going on here? All right. Well, we gonna deal with that. Let's see here. So let me get that information. Oh, I think I found out what that was. It was my Bluetooth. My Bluetooth was going on. Was playing. All right. Let me see here. Then I'm gonna play another video too. This is interesting. This is HR related. So every company for the most part has some type of either tech department or they have a local IT resource, or they have someone that they reach out to like a vendor. But most like medium to basically large enterprises, they have their own IT, whether they outsource it or they have a local IT. I'll tell you, most of the industry, as far as business, is outsourcing. They outsource their technology. Uh, basically, they basically their technology help is outsourced. They have companies, entire cottage industries of companies that actually do managed services. It's called managed services. They basically manage a company's IT infrastructure from tech support, you know, programming, networking, you name it, imaging, packages, solutions, everything is managed by that particular managed service company. So that being said, a lot of companies, well before I got into IT, I got into IT about roughly about 2007. Really, to be honest, I could technically say since 1999. No, that ages myself. But my first technical IT job, I worked in a computer lab in a small junior college. So technically, I've been in the industry for about over 25 years to be exact. But I just put it my timeline at about 2007 because 2007 basically was when I was in college for IT. I was already going to school, and I didn't do what some people do, which is wait for you to get a degree. People think stuff in their head. They like, oh, I need to get a degree. I need to wait till I get my degree. Even if you in school for IT, you need experience. You need to probably do some type of internship, right? You have to get experience because experience is like literally as good as gold. If you don't like, that's the thing with, like, I'll tell you, like, the thing with me with like what I went to university for, which was software. Well, now it's called software development. Back then it was called programming. It was very difficult to get a job because it was basically off of experience. If you didn't have the experience, you could be basically just basically barred. I mean, just not able to enter that particular industry. Now some particular IT jobs are more just, I guess you could say, hiring friendly, where they could probably take you on if you don't really know that much and give you some training. But other, like, highly specialized roles, they don't let you just come off the street and just, get the job. They require some type of experience. So that being said, a lot of times, you got to have that experience. That experience is worth its weight in gold. Like, I mean, you might want to even do work for free for people, because if you don't have that, like, particular line, those line items on your resume that say you know how to do X, Y, and Z, and you got on your resume, you got McDonald's, you got Pizza Hut, you got Starbucks, you got, Amazon warehouse, UPS package handler. Like, that's not going to get you that IT job. I'm gonna just be, and then now today they're so brutal with hiring now. You got to understand, the boomers are already retired. They already are in the process of retiring. Everything is up to the Generation X, millennials, and then Gen Zs, and they got, it's all kinds of technology to just basically filter out your resume, put your resume automatically in a dump file. Not just like your resume is overlooked because you don't have that particular, like, they have it where you could just basically pinpoint certain key characters as far as words, and if you don't have what they're looking for, your resume or your application is automatically auto filtered out of basically being a candidate. And yeah, you do have to worry about, certain isms like classism, racism, religious, affiliations and stuff like that. Those do play a role in any job, right? But you gotta add, you don't also have the experience. That's a problem. You know, that's a major, major problem for you trying to get into IT. And when I was in school, basically, I got right into IT. I just got in where I fit in. Basically, I started working. My first job, I was working for uh, uh, basically a Nigerian doctor in the Chicagoland area. He just needed somebody to help when like the printer was down, help fix some computers. Basically entry level stuff, and I was able to help him out because I was already knew how to work on computers. I mean, I'll tell you the best way to get in to learn. You don't have to do this because a lot of the high paid careers in IT, they don't even touch a computer. They don't even touch a computer. So they don't know how to even probably take a hard drive out or anything. Like a project manager, I remember one day when I like years ago, this was over 10 years ago, I was talking to a project manager about something technical, that was related to a hard drive on a computer. That project manager, I think it was a or it was, I don't know if it was a guy or a woman, but they was like they never even took a hard drive out. They never touched any like hardware and fixed it or anything like that. So this is what you find out. Like I thought when I first got into IT that you got to be like a mechanic and you got to work on hardware and you got to fix stuff and all of this. That's the lowest part. That's the lowest paid. Now I'm gonna give you this. You're gonna have a leg up on everybody else because you're gonna know how to actually fix things, right? Because you will be an actual technician. And a lot of the people that work in IT, they don't they're hands off. They don't have to work on the hardware. A lot of the computers have warranties, like if they got a contract with HP, basically if they got a contract with HP, though those computer hardware assets are under warranty and they don't have to touch them. They basically the on-site staff, they don't touch the computers as far as like fixing them or anything like that. HP brings their technicians to fix those hardware, those computer hardware assets, laptops, desktops. They don't they like that's how that is. So and being a computer technician, like where I first started, that's one of the lowest paid roles in IT. And it's the most technical because you got to actually fix that. Like you have to physically repair that laptop, take the motherboard out, fix whatever's wrong, fix whatever's wrong with it, fix the computer desktop. You got to take the motherboard out and everything. But you got to understand, it's backwards. Even mechanics don't really get that much, as far as pay, because they actually have to do the most engineering. They have to be a HVAC guy because they're dealing, a car has HVAC, it has electricity, so they have to be electrician because there's a bunch of wires. They have to splice wires and everything like that. They have to be basically a mechanical engineer because they're dealing with basically the engines, hard, basically mechanics, engines, transmissions, anything with motors in them, alternators, starters, superchargers, all kinds of stuff, right? And their mechanics are the lowest paid out of all of them. They're paid lower than HVAC technicians. They're paid, and they also have to know plumbing because you're dealing with cooling going from the transmission to the engine to the radiator, and they also have to deal with that. So they are the least paid out of all of those professions: plumbing, mechanical engineering, uh, HVAC, electrician work, you name it. They're the least paid. They don't get paid that much. But they know a lot, right? They're very valuable. When your car down, a mechanic is like a doctor. Like you, like, man, I need my car fixed. Can you fix my car? How much it's gonna be? But it's like, as far as a mechanic actually working for a shop, they're the least paid out of all of the different components that they have to work on. So that's kind of how it is with being a computer technician. It's very technical. You definitely need people to fix these things, but it's just low pay. Like, I how it got that way and all of that type of stuff, I don't know, but that's just how it is. And I didn't know that, 17 years ago. I thought that was the way you had to go. Now, if you do know how to do that, I learned it was fixing desktops, basically building custom computers. That's how I learned how to be a technician. So the thing is that I didn't know that that was the least paid profession. Like, I've started to find that out after the years of me getting different jobs, right? Because after the Nigerian doctor I worked for at his offices, he had like a few offices throughout the Chicagoland area. I got a job in Indiana. It was my first job in Indiana, and that was working help desk for Time Warner Cable. So people called in, they had problems with their internet modem, they forgot their password or something like that to their Time Warner email. We would help them with that. It was a very boring job, extremely boring, very, very boring job. But I dealt with it. I dealt with it. I pretty much, once I got that job, it sprung to other jobs. I think, like, after that, I worked. I got a job working as like a field engineer, which is basically, I was repairing Vizio TVs. Funny thing is that a lot of people don't know, I used to be a TV repairman. I was repairing Vizio LCD TVs, and I just recently, like within the last few, like about 3 or 4 days ago, I found a TV that, it was, somebody threw it out. This is a true story. I have the TV right now, 40-inch Vizio LCD TV. Somebody threw it out. I picked it up, and immediately I checked to see if if because I've done this before, because I know how to anything that I find is not repaired. I know how to, and that's another value add to being an actual technician. You can just, and I recommend you do this. Get anything that don't work, and I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story about that too. This conversation is going to definitely make you some money if you are in tech, or whatever. Like, this is going to help you, because these stories are very, it helped me, like, make money. Like, so when I got the TV out the box, I immediately checked to see if the screen is cracked. If the screen ain't cracked, I know, okay, this is something I could work with. Because when a TV, a LCD TV, any type of TV is cracked, it's pretty much a no-go. Like, it ain't nothing you really could do about it. the amount of money that will be required to fix that crack screen, it just all I can say is just forget about it. But I know from working on Vizio TVs, and then I worked with different. I had it was occasional, it was some work for like a laptop, a desktop, or anything like that. I had to work on those, but I was still green, so it was times where I I ain't gonna lie, when I first started, I was like fixing. I remember like swapping out a motherboard. The computer turned on when I first started working on it, and then once I swapped the motherboard out and put it back on, the damn computer didn't even turn on. So it was moments like that. Like it's this 2007. I'm still green. I'm still learning, right? So um, basically, like yeah, like after that, I got like a job working at a railroad company that actually they did automated gates. And that's interesting because that was my first time actually working for the mob. if I swear to my right hand to God on my mama, I work for the mob. I work for the Italian mafia, like for real. Like I seen it. Like these guys, man, I worked at a railroad yard. They had automated gates. I mean, basically they had manual gates, and then they went from manual gates to automated gates where it was ran off of software. So I'm trying to get a job, man. I had an apartment, what I'm saying? I was trying to get one. I think I had got another one. This was my third apartment. I'm like 20, well, I'm like 27, 28, and I got this job. And I remember the first like time we before we launched, all these people came from New Jersey, and they was all I could tell somebody's a Greek or Italian or whatever. They was Italian. They had, basically gave us some pizza, some Mediterranean salad, and I never forget, like it was like the dude, like he was like one of the managers or something like that. And at the time before that, me and my homie, we used to watch Sopranos. We used to watch Sopranos like every week when it came out, like because he had HBO, so we used to watch Sopranos a lot. So I know a fucking Italian when I see one that's like, kind of like, maybe in a mob or some shit. So I mean, sometimes it is what it is. Now, do I know 100%? Nah, but do I think it? Hell yeah. So the thing is like I never forget this dude. Like he was from New Jersey, kind of big. He had the little trench coat type of thing. This was Chicago winter. It's about winter time or close to it. It's always cold. Right now it's cold, or it's a nice day, but yesterday it was cold. It was like 40 degrees. He's like, Abdul, what's going on, my man? Like he had that Italian accent, and it was like, man, that New Jersey Italian accent, man. I was like, damn, this shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my first time I could say, like, yeah, like I was literally working for the mob. Like, I mean, they was I can definitely say that I was a company, but they were like I definitely have a strong inclination. It was mafia related, like or what I'm saying. I don't know. I ain't never looked into it or nothing like that. But yeah, like that was like my first kind of like legitimate job. It was low pay. It wasn't really paying that much, but basically all we had to do was just sit behind a computer screen and a desk and basically control the gates, control the truckers going in and out. Any issues, we have to deal with it. Cause these was kiosks that was like basically opening the gates automatically. All the truckers come in, they get a bobtail slip, and then they put it in. And these truckers was frustrated, because they used to everything manual. Now they dealing with computers and stuff like that. So that was a headache. But Yeah, that was like 2008, and I ended up quitting that job because it was like fucking my sleep up. It was like a overnight job, so you had to do like five. It was like 5 p.m. to 5 in the morning, and it was like 12-hour shifts. So I ended up quitting that job, which that wasn't a good decision. Because it was a hard time after that. I had a hard time getting a job after that. Now I had to learn you can't just quit jobs. You know what I'm saying? I got a comment here. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, what's going on, man? The usual suspects. When I click that comment thing, I don't know. I'll never know who it is. But yeah, man. That was like my first actual official, like, kind of like, where I was like, you know what, I'm about to take things off. Like, this is about to go someplace, and that was like my first actual legitimate corporate job. I was working at a railroad yard. I was working for the mob. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, in a Hispanic neighborhood working for the mob. I'm like, man, wow, it's tripped out. Um, but the thing is that, yeah, like after that, well, this is just open talk. I'm basically talking about basically what my bread and butter is, which is information technology. I mean, I primarily, that's, well, I don't really talk a lot about it, but I this is what I do for a living. Like, I do other stuff, but my bread and butter is working in IT. That's what I do for a living. It's the most high paid thing that I do. Like all the other stuff, like, and that's the thing with, that's the funny thing, and that's why I need to start doing more of these, because people won't even know, because I be talking about all kind of other shit, and then I'll be all over the place, that I work in IT. I've been working. That's what I do. I'm a tech guy. I've been all over. Like, I did damn near everything when it comes to technology. I work for corporate America. I had my own business in Chicago, in the hood, selling computers with Larry Hoover, basically his son right down the street, in the middle of a gang war between the GDs and the BDs. And this was around like 2009. I done worked for the Chicago public school system. I was a computer teacher. I done did everything. Like, that's what I do. Like you slanging policies and insurance. That's what I do. I primarily work in IT. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'll be honest, like, I'm not gonna mention any names, but I think guys do need to talk about tech stuff. Like, it's guys it's in tech, and then all they talk about is other bullshit. And it's like, I'm gonna get right into this this post right here that I have up here. If you probably can see it, probably already read it. But I'm gonna read this, and this is basically some content that I posted a long time ago. Actually, not long ago. This was January 29th. So about 4 months ago, give or take. So it reads: the percentage of black men in the technology industry varies depending on the region, company, and specific role. However, black men are generally underrepresented in the tech sector, particularly in leadership and technical roles. Here are some key statistics and insights. United States, number one overall representation, according to 2023 report by the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, which is now the Trump administration pretty much killed it. This is no longer in existence. Um, that's a whole nother story for another day, but that's no longer there. But this is very recent, 2023. Black workers make up about 7 to 8% of the tech workforce. Okay, so I was wrong. I said 1%, but it's definitely less than 10%. and basically, um, we'll see if this EEOC being disbanded basically makes a difference with that or makes it worse. We'll see. Time will tell. You say you need to start back slinging policy. Now, I thought you still doing that. Like, you not doing that, or you took a hiatus or something like that. I don't know, man. I've been just trying to, survive myself, man. Trying to do what I can. I don't really work. I don't do a lot of tech work because I'm just still trying to figure things out, but I still work. I still be out there. You know what I'm saying? I can't go into detail because that's the whole thing. I charge that's part of why I do the why I have my IT course. I basically, like, I'm gonna telling you what I do, like, I have learned that you have to charge for it, and um it's part of my course that is just only $100. Basically, that's part of what I do. I do that myself, like that, like, basically what I do to make money with IT, no matter if I'm working or not. Like, that's pretty much part of that course. Basically, it's consider it like a finder's fee type of thing, where I'm basically gonna put you on. I'm gonna put you on to what I do. I'm gonna mentor you. I'm gonna give you my phone number. We're gonna have contact, and um I'm gonna tell you basically the ropes of, of how you can get in, what you need to do. And it's like that $100 is like it's a course, it's an actual course. And I'm gonna put you literally, if you're in a major metropolis like New York, LA, even Arizona, Texas, I already know it's work in that area. I know how to get you in that area, wherever area you're in. Now, if you're in a farm, I mean, I can't really do much with that, like, other than, if you don't know technology, I can put, still, the course is still valuable. You just got to understand, you're gonna have to get a remote job, because where you live, see, that's the thing. That's why people live near a major city. That's why people live near major cities, because it's work. When you're out in a freaking, the freaking farmland, you got to be creative, because it's no industry other than being a farmer. You know what I'm saying? So uh that's the thing. You gotta kind of be creative you gotta work remote, basically, and there are remote jobs. There are quite a bit of remote jobs. So, that being said, that's what you kind of have to do, when in regards to, if you're because you got to understand, it's people on YouTube that they live in the country. They may not tell you, or you wouldn't know, but they live in the country, or they live places that's remote, where it ain't that many people. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. Okay, you said you gotta update some stuff marketing wise. Okay. Yeah, so the thing is that when it comes down to it, basically, I can get you in the game. I can pretty much get you in. uh that's another reason why I'm gonna start doing this. Like I said, this is episode 1. I'm gonna start doing different things, so this is gonna be definitely one of those. So and then, if you are a tech, or an inspiring tech, basically, check me out. Basically, come in, drop some comments. I'll answer some questions. uh you know if you got some questions, if you're current tech, or if you have some aspirations to get into technology. Now, I'm gonna tell you, we are in a technocracy right now. We have been in a technocracy, I would say, for probably the last 20 years, and it's definitely not digressing; it's progressing. Now you have AI, right? You have AI actually eliminating jobs, and I remember when I was doing Uber, which is also a tech company. It's not per se a tech job, but it's a tech company because Uber is a technology platform, just like DoorDash is and other apps. When I was doing Uber, I remember this was 2017. It was a guy that I was dropping off and picking up. His job was to find uh basically different software systems to replace workers, and this was 2017, so we almost in basically 2027. So it's basically progressing. It's getting more and more where AI is replacing jobs, right? So the thing is that it's technology and everything. It's technology apps with insurance. It's technology that's integrated with real estate now. It's all kinds of technology in just about everyday life, wherever you um basically are in any type of particular industry or not. All right, so um I don't know, the connection has dropped off. I think I might need to get a firewall. I think I definitely need to get a firewall. I think that I'm gonna put that on my to-do list, because I think I need to get a little bit more internet security. Um, anyway, this is my let me test this out before I put this in a chat. Let me see here. All right, yeah, we good. So this is my course here. It's my course. I put that in the chat. Like I say, a lot of times what it is I'm not really a popular dude. And I'm pretty much, I'll be honest, I have been an asshole. I've been a supreme high level um king asshole, and I know I pissed a lot of people off by the things that I've said. So I know I'm not a pretty popular individual, as far as I know how, I know how people are very um into popularism, and I'm popular, but people pretend that they don't listen to me and watch me. That's what people do. And I've caught people doing that because I can hear people repeating stuff that I've said like a parrot, and I know this person has been in the clouds, listening to me, studying me, because they like smart guys. But nevertheless, like, if you're broke, right, and you want to get into technology, and you don't want to spend any money or whatever, because you don't want to associate with me because other people don't like me. I mean, just because I'm talking about this is a lot of people in IT are assholes. It's no different. I'm gonna tell you like it is. So if you are one of those individuals, I got a new video for you. I got a new clip for you. Here you go, right here.
You're stupid. That's what you are. You're unintelligent. You're a stupid motherfucker. And if you want to get on Skype with me, get on the phone with me, I'll tell you directly, you're stupid. You're stupid. You lack intelligence. That's what Alan Roger Curry got to say about that. You're stupid.
Yeah, so I mean that still ain't changed. Yeah. So yeah, if you are stupid, right? Because being broke when you don't have to be is definitely high level stupidity. But the thing is that yeah, I do have, like I say, I have a way out of you trying to pick up boxes at Amazon, right? I have a way out. You just gotta click the link and purchase, and what I'm saying, get started. It's just that simple. But done nonetheless, like I say, I this first paragraph here, 7 to 8% of black people in tech only make up less than 10%, 7 to 8% as of 2023. So there is a job market crunch. Okay, there's a issue with jobs. But here's the thing. Understand this. It's ebbs and flow as far as employment, right? As far as employment, there's ebbs and flow. So here's the thing where you can and I can help you with in this regard. A lot of people are employee minded. They're employee minded, right? And one of the things about IT, I've been in every aspect of this. Okay. Now, this cash flow quadrant right here, this Robert Kiyosaki quadrant, I added the two to the left. Okay, because that's important because this makes up pretty much the entire economy for the most part. So the thing with tech is you can do anything in this field and still make money. Like you can be working basically, you could just be you got to understand is contractors that are in system D. Your plumber that your family know, that's the plumber that works his day job is working at the wherever he works, and he just so happens to be a plumber. He ain't filing no taxes. He ain't doing nothing. He getting money. He asking for cash. Once he go fix your grandma kitchen sink, that's called System D. Okay, I've done that in IT. Okay, I've been right now. I'm also self-employed. I do self-employment. I don't care if I don't if some elite snoobs have me on some ban list or fucking blacklist or whatever the fuck. Okay, excuse my language. I am still going to work because IT runs the world. This is what I learned. This was my mantra in 2007 when I first got in the industry because I knew this. This is what you learn when you go to university and college in IT. You learn IT basically runs the world. You already know because every company has to have a computer to compete. Everything is computer related, right? It's progressing. It's not digressing. Computers run the world. I know how to fix computers. That was what my mantra was in 2007. It has not changed. It's only progressed. So don't matter if you're an employee or not or unemployed, you can still make money in IT. I still make money. I still make money because basically I know how to basically market my skills, and also I know where to go where you can get the contracts. Okay, it's a lot of different ways you can go. When we you want to talk about government contracts, I can get somebody on that does government contracts and we can really get dirty with it because you can actually make more money on the self-employment side and the business side than actually being an employee in the first damn place. So don't get frustrated because the job market is fucked up. You can still get a job in IT. You can still also work for yourself as well, like I have done forever. I have never not been working for myself. I repeat, never. Because you got to understand, At one time, I actually did have a client base and a clientele base because I basically had my own business. I was self-employed, right? I had a small business. So by the time I had my store in Chicago in the hood, right? Basically I had a whole bunch of clientele calling me. They had computer issues that digressed over the years. But the thing is this, like, I ain't never, like a plumber, like an electrician, like a carpenter, whoever, I have never not stopped working for myself. I've worked for companies and I got a call while I was at work. Hey, my computer messed up. I got off work and I went to their house and fixed their computer after I worked a shift at my job. Okay. I have never depended on any company for a paycheck and never not, had my own small practice or business on the side. Now a lot of people might not be comfortable doing that or whatever, but I myself, I have never not basically did projects outside of my employment or whatever. And I've been self-employed before and also had a business, so I know how to actually do it. Is it easy? Heck no. But is it very possible? Yes, it is. Because you got to understand, it's B2B and it's also corp to corp, as far as you can have your own business and do business with businesses, offering them services. So don't get don't get it twisted at all, right? It is work out there. It is tons of work out there. It's more work than you have time to do out there, right? So, because you got to understand, there's all of these restaurants, there's new restaurants opening, there's new businesses opening. They need IT infrastructure at every one of those restaurants, every one of those businesses. uh it is just absolutely too much work out there at any given time. Every time a ticket is created, that ticket is from some IT managed services company. They ain't got no technicians to send nowhere. They in freaking India, or they in New York or somewhere else. They ain't flying, they ain't getting on no damn plane and coming to go fix a POS system. They sending that ticket out somewhere so somebody else in that particular geographical area can fix that issue. And that goes on all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So I hope you understand what I'm saying when it comes to, you going once you know these particular skill sets, it's gonna always be work for you. Now, this being said, let me read this further. And major tech companies like Google, Facebook, Meta, and Microsoft, black employees typically account for 3 to 5% of the workforce, with black men often comp- comprising less than half of that figure. Okay, so this is very interesting. So less than 10% of African Americans, black people, whatever you want to call them, FBA, tethers, or Africans, African Americans, they make up about 7 to 8% of the tech workforce. Okay. In the major FANG companies, okay, FANG is Facebook, Apple, Nvidia, Google, the major tech companies. Black people make up about 5% of those FANG companies, which those are very, very high paying jobs. I worked for Microsoft for a couple weeks. That was the most money I've ever made in my life in those 2 weeks. I made about $375 a day as a network engineer. Short term project. I had an email, had a Microsoft's account. It was a tripped out job because Microsoft, they have so much money. Basically, is the equivalent of, I don't know what it, I've never worked nowhere where you get free breakfast, free dinner, free lunch. Your you got access to a refrigerator where you could get anything out of the refrigerator. The stuff that you go to a gas station and you basically have to go pay money for the sodas, the seltzer water, the energy drinks. You could just open the freaking door and just get whatever you want and then go to your desk. And they had video games. They got Xbox. You could play Xbox. You got, play pool, whatever. Like it was that also, and you getting paid a whole bunch of money. So I did work. I worked for Microsoft briefly. Now, my uncle worked for Microsoft a few times. He worked for a lot of. Well, he worked for Microsoft and he worked for HP. I also worked for HP as well, but I was a contractor. I was a contractor for Microsoft too. He wasn't no contractor. Now the thing is this. That's a major thing. 5% is a low amount to be working for a FANG company. FANG companies pay tremendous. Facebook pays tremendous. All of these companies, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, they pay tremendous. I think Nvidia, when they had that stock boom, their employees made millions of dollars because they had stock options or some type of stock option or whatever. They were millionaires by being basically an Nvidia employee. So it's a major situation working for these companies. It's like the equivalent of you being in the NBA and having a 10-day contract, or having a minimum, like league minimum contract. I don't know what the league minimum is in the NBA. I think it's like a couple hundred grand a year to just be on the bench, and maybe you might come in when it's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and let's just say you play for the Golden State Warriors, and they already up on the Portland Trailblazers by 20 by like the freaking third quarter, or no, the fourth quarter, and basically about 5 minutes left. They might let you off the bench and you get to play for a few minutes, and you getting like $300,000 a year, and you're basically you signed to a league minimum. That is the equivalent of working for Google and Facebook and Nvidia and Microsoft. So that's a major deal. And they also, the key point also to this is, you black men make up less than half of those roles. So most of those roles are filled by black women out of that 3 to 5% that work in those major tech companies. A lot of you don't understand. See, I always talk about the smart chicks, right? And I don't always, but a lot of different men out here, they don't like smart chicks. And you got to understand, it is women that work in tech. I'll be honest, a lot of women are coders. You wouldn't believe, but a lot of women are actually in coding. A lot of black women are in coding. And it's rare. It's not that many black women that are in tech, but basically, um they do get those jobs filled. A lot of the times, you got to understand, these men, they hire women because especially if they look good, they add value to the workplace. They like eye candy to the other men and all of that type of stuff. They might be trying to get with. It's that type of stuff that plays a role in that too. But yeah, and it's a lot of stuff. Like I said, you gotta deal with classism, racism, religious affiliations and all of that type of stuff when it comes to employment in tech as well. But if you are highly technical, if you know a particular skill set, you are in high demand because most people do not know how to do certain things. Most people don't know how to fix a computer. Most people don't know how to program a computer. Okay, do all kinds of things. They just don't. You don't come out your mom's wound, out your mom's vagina, knowing how to code, knowing how to fix a computer. That's something it's a skill set that you have to learn, right? Just like math, right? So let's talk further. Number 2 point, leadership roles. This is a this is we're going in the rabbit hole here. Black men are significantly underrepresented in leadership positions. For example, a 2022 report from the Kapoor Capers Center revealed that only 1 to 2% of executive roles in tech companies are held by black individuals, with black men occupying again an even smaller share of that 1 to 2%. I actually in tech, there are a lot of black women that are in higher executive roles in technology, meaning they're an IT manager of some sort or some type of executive that's in basically a IT department. Now, my uncle, he works in leadership roles. That's what he's been doing for over 20 years. And the thing is that, yeah, like most of this is, still, the very, very low amounts of black men in these roles, in these leadership roles. So, again, like, this link right here, put in the chat here. I had to shorten it. This link right here can help change all of that. I can help you. A lot of people, they just talking about stuff, but they not trying to kind of give you some type of blueprint. Like they'll just say it, but I'm giving you, I'm taking your hand. I'm not giving it to you for free because this ain't communism. You could go to Cuba and they'll train you to be in IT for free. Click the link, pay that money. It's like less than the fucking pair of Jordans, and then you gonna get into IT if you put up the work. I'm not gonna, beg you. I'm not gonna fucking try to, deliver you into IT. You gotta actually want to be in, just like you want, anything else. And I'm gonna help you, get into the game. I'm gonna help you get in the field. You're gonna call me. I'm not gonna ignore your calls. You're gonna call me. I'm going to basically be your mentor and help you navigate the ropes. If you're crazy, you got mental problems and all that type of stuff, I'm not your therapist. I can help you the best way I can, but this is not this either. You're not paying for me to be your fucking um, you know s- uh, psychiatrist. So all you weirdos and people that got severe deep mental issues do not pay to just annoy me. Like, here's the thing, also in business, when I had my computer store and just working in technology in general, some people reach out to you just to kind of troll you. Like that's the thing. Like they call you to troll you. They come to your store to kind of talk to you and all of that type of stuff. It's like if it ain't about no money, get out my face. What are you here for? I can't pay my rent off of conversations for my store. So the thing is that, yeah, that's also what I'm gonna have to say about that. But you see, this is a major problem. You probably didn't know this information. Okay, I'm a definitely edit this title and put, I'll put something in there as far as things. Definitely probably add this to my blog. Now, that being said, those leadership roles are even less. That's where I guess that's where the 1% that I got, black men are in like 1% to 2% in executive roles. So you can see this is almost like representation in Congress and shit. Like almost like it's like up there. So we gotta change that. I don't care, people talking about college and all that goofy shit. Let's talk about it's only 1 to 2% of leadership roles. It's only 5% of roles in the major tech companies. Let's talk about that. Let's have that conversation. Technical roles and technical roles such as software engineering, data science, and cybersecurity, black men represent 2 to 3% of the workforce, according to the data from the National Center for Women and Information Technology. So that's kind of very similar to the leadership roles. That's why I said earlier. That's what I said earlier, right? The highly technical roles, right? Software engineering, data science, cybersecurity. Those are the roles that are paying. You're basically you're a high value man at that point, right? When you get a job like this is high value man jobs, literally.
Message.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
So yeah, those roles are attainable. Right now, here's the thing. There's there's guys that they do training on this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's guys that Theo Woff. You probably if you around different circles, you know about Theo. Um, you know about the guy from Lifting the Veil. I forgot his name. I had a conversation with him. Lifting the Veil Academy. He basically he does data science. That's his major thing is he does data science training. So he can get you in the field of data science. So like he has training. Actually, I gotta look at that particular link too, because that's a little different than his other page. So he does training on data science. Okay, it's a lot more costly, but it's worth it. I definitely, if your money is good, it's worth it because he can kind of get you in it. I could say it's couple grand. He does monthly payments as well, but he can get you into data science. You got people that are talk about cybersecurity, um, software engineering. I think the only person I think that does talk about that is a dude in the UK. I think he's called International Passport. But it is people that do these training. It's training all over YouTube. So the thing is that this is definitely this is that right here. Like, let me highlight this. This is that high value man conversation right here. All of this is you know what I'm saying? All of this is right here, but all of this right here, I'll just highlight these three here. All these three here, this is high value men basically conversation. This is definitely high value man content right here. Like these three paragraphs I just highlighted right here is definitely high value man type situation. This is what this is. You should retitle this to this high value man open. To retitle, you should retitle this high value man open. Open high. I mean, yeah, reaching high is always great. I ain't gonna lie, but um everybody know tech pays. Ain't no secret about that. It's everybody knows tech pays money. It's just people have I did a video on mind viruses because people have mind viruses. Like one of those mind viruses, people are programmed, even older people are programmed to they are programmed to think a certain way. Like people are programmed to believe that nerds are in the tech only. You have to be a smart nerd to get into tech. That is a that is a ball face lie. Do nerds run tech? Yeah. Do you have to be a smart pocket protector nerd to work in IT? Hell no. Do you think I'm a smart pocket protector? I'm just a question. You're not gonna offend me. I'm not gonna find where you are and steal on you. Like Mano in the New York dude, Mano. I'm not gonna find your IP address and come steal on you in the mall. I'm not going to be offended. Do you think I'm a smart nerd pocket protector individual? That's my question to the world. Like, do you think that's me? Like, I'm a smart pocket protector motherfucker? Like, okay, don't get me wrong. I got glasses. A lot of time, I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I wear glasses, I be having like little bags under my eyes. That's where I primarily wear glasses. I can see fine. Now, and also, I, little blood pressure issues. My eyes have been like cloudy. But I'm gonna be honest. Since I stopped eating meat and changed my diet, like I those issues have definitely been a lot better. But I ain't that. I'm not no like super thug type dude. But I ain't no pocket protector. I mean, I have different looks. Depend if I put my glasses on, like yeah, if I like these ain't even really glasses. These are called gunner glasses. These are gaming glasses. If I put these on, yeah, okay, yeah, I look the park. I look like what's that dude? What's that guy that used to do? I think Borat. Yeah, I look like that dude. But I mean, nah, I don't wear glasses all the time. I'm gonna give you a secret. To be less offensive, to be less intimidating, to get a job, to get past a lot of racism and shit. When you go on a job interview, put some glasses on. Go buy some reading glasses and put them on because when you get the job, like when you go on a job interview, people one think people are programmed to think that you're smart if you wear glasses. Two, people are very confident around a dude that they think is a nerd that wears glasses. So you're not a threat. You're not looked at as a threat. So if you put the glasses on, they'll think that you're not a threat or whatever, or that you're basically someone that is a peon or something. So if you put the glasses on in an interview, like you'll probably get the job because one, like I say, they'll think you're smart as hell because you look like you have to look like a nerd. Then two, um, you basically look less intimidating because black men are very intimidating. I mean, we just we got a reputation, right? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like when you put them glasses on, man, you can get the job. You gotta play the game, man, to win, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's my that's like my tip, but everybody know that when you work in IT, you make money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna retitle this most likely blacks in tech or some shit like that. I'll just add it to it. um I'll tell you this, if you want me to put that title in, I'm cheap. I'm cheap as hell. Like I'll shit. If you really want me to put that title in, how about this? Where my where my cash app at? If you really want me to, I'll do it. You'll be what they say. You're the sponsor of the stream. If you wanna sponsor the stream, there you go. Your wish will be my command. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sponsor the stream, like I'll change it to whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. So yeah, these particular three particular concentrations here are definitely these are all six figures. All six figures. For the most part, unless you like a help desk support. Like help desk support, you ain't gonna make that much. You got Apple help desk support guys. They only make like maybe $30 an hour, maybe 20 something dollars an hour. They're working remote. Okay, they do a lot of remote jobs. Like they have a lot of remote jobs. Amazon has a lot of like customer service, like call center jobs. All of them. Facebook, not Facebook, but um, definitely AT&T, Apple, Amazon. They have a lot of help desk type like remote jobs. And you got to understand, I mean, depending on your situation, 28 dollars 30 some dollars an hour to be working from home, like in your pajamas, basically helping people with password resets and stuff like that. That's not bad, and that's good to have on your resume if you're starting in the industry. So but I mean, most of these roles, like definitely Fang for sure are higher paying roles, and definitely for a fact, if not nothing else, definitely these two right here. And if not, if anything, if you just want to isolate things, definitely this right here alone. Software engineering, data science, cybersecurity, hands down. You if you a junior, maybe you might make less than 100,000 if you got a junior role like in any of these. But once you get past that junior, you definitely everybody know you get. They ain't even gonna ask you anything. Like if you tell the recruiter, a job recruiter that's contacting you, they need a C plus plus specialist, or they need a senior software developer, or a software developer, or what's another job title, a data scientist, a data analyst, and then you say anything less than $100,000, man, they gonna be like they gonna be like, man, what are you, a crackhead or something? Like, I mean, damn, you must. What, man? What? Shoot. Okay. Oh, you only want $89,000? What? Oh, okay. They gonna be like, damn, we got one. We got one, man. Cause they was willing to offer 150, $175,000 a year, and you only want 89,000. Shit. Hey, they gonna call you the next day. We've decided they gonna send you they gonna call you talking about Mr. Smith. management really liked you in the interview, and we decided we're going to go with you and on board you. Are you still? Do you still looking for work? Are you still interested? You're like, yeah, yeah, I'm interested. They're gonna get right on board in your ass, talking about you only want 89,000. You know what I'm saying? So they already know what those roles play. And you got to understand these roles in other like areas like New York, Chicago, LA, Miami, different parts of like where, it's a competitive, or the cost of living is higher. They already know that people are going to basically ask for a certain amount, and they're paying a certain amount because higher cost of living areas tend to pay more. Like if you work in Silicon Valley and you work in a tech, you make more than if you work in Milwaukee. So they already know that. So it's it just is what it is. So let me read this further. Fourth point here: education pipeline. The underrepresentation of black men in tech is partly due to disparities in education and access to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Opportunities black men earn only 2 to 3% of bachelor's degrees in computer science and related fields, according to the National Science Foundation.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
Now, I will say this, right? I am clever. I'm a clever dude. I ain't the only one. I ain't got no degree. And I work with people with degrees. Because it's like when the first 10 minutes of this video, experience is worth its weight in gold. However you get the experience is worth its weight in gold. In the last 20 years, a lot of companies moved away from even asking for a college degree. If you have the mindset that the degree is more important than the actual experience and skill set, you have a problem. Now, if you can get the degree, great, great, excellent, you should get that degree. But you got to understand, you got a lot of broke people with degrees. I can point you to a whole bunch of broke ass people with degrees that don't know how to keep a job, don't know how to get a job, have imposter syndrome, even they have a degree in technology and they have imposter syndrome, because you got to understand a lot of this stuff is low confidence. A lot of this is low confidence, imposter syndrome, self-limiting beliefs. You're around people that spread mind viruses. Okay, you got to click on the video, mind viruses. You know, you got people, if you listen to the people that have these same mind viruses, you're getting that infection. That's all you need to know. You're getting infected by those mind viruses. One of the things that I was very, very much poignant to not do this year that I used to do was listening to people with certain mind viruses. I pretty much eliminated those people out of my freaking mind, like as far as listening to, because the thing is a lot of people have mind viruses, and this is why they're broke. This is why they do the things they do. This is why they talk about what they talk about. This is why they hate everybody and they hate on everybody and they got all this hate for everybody, and they act like people that live in the projects. And I know from Chicago, I know that mentality of a dude that is a project dude. And one of the things about that is like it's just people that just don't like each other. It's a lot of self-hatred, a lot of self-limiting beliefs, a lot of victimization, a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of low self-esteem. If you got high self-esteem, they don't like you because you got high self. All of those is mind viruses. You got to damn near be a monk to avoid all of that shit. And when you avoid those mind viruses and those infections that are out there, and you got to understand in the black community, it is a whole bunch of mind viruses. It's so many. It's so the level of infection is almost like just is absolutely preposterous. And avoidance is the best cure. That's all I can say. Now, you might not be able to talk to damn near nobody, but that is why you think the way you think,
Message.
and that's why you're doing the certain things that you're doing. You know, now college is difficult, and one of the reasons why college is difficult is because you either want to party too much and you don't know how to. You gotta have a certain level of money management to survive college, because you got to be able to afford to stay in college. And if you blowing your money, you blowing your refund checks on women and clothes and booze and weed and car rims and shit like that, yeah, you going to be the candidate most likely of a dropout. Don't ask me how I know. Now, the thing is that having some college education like I have, which is actually I have a lot of education because I went to school for a long time. I had way more I had way more basically concentrations than just technology. I literally changed my major like 3 times. First it was business, then it was basically sociology, because I was going to school to be a social worker. Then I switched to IT. So I went to school for a long time. I mean, I'm very. That's one of the reasons why I'm very smart. But you know, I don't recommend someone go to college that long, because it's like, well, it's better if you just go to college and finish as fast as you can, and then make the money, and then you could self-educate yourself. If you want to continue education, you could just do that if you want to do that. Like, and you already have a job and everything like that. You already had your degree. Like, I was young and stupid. So I did go to college for a long time, and I took a whole shit ton of courses. I took enough courses to actually have. I have over 120 credit hours, so I have the equivalent of a PhD because I went to school for so damn long. But the thing is, I don't recommend that you do that, other than you already have a PhD after you do all of that. But the thing is, I am definitely very, very intelligent because I did go to school for a long damn time.
What does your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. I got choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay. Congratulations.
Hero for that baby.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is that it's better to have gone than have never gone. Unless you're going to hit the ground running, you're going to possibly need mentorship. You're going to need to get experience. You're going to probably have to be quiet. You may even have to lie. When people ask you where you went to school, you might have to lie because you want to fit in. Because people, when you tell people the truth, they might go back and gossip with somebody else. Next thing you know, it's a whole shit storm. You got HR looking into your background now. So it's a lot of stuff with that. But the thing is that it is helpful if you do go to college. I mean, you don't have to, but it is helpful. That's my whole thing with that, because you do have to have a certain level of discipline to continue college. I will say this: if you're in a lower socioeconomic environment, like basically here, it's in your best interest to stay in college until you finish, because you got to understand, let's say you from Magnolia housing projects in New Orleans, and you're in college or university. It's in your best interest to stay there until you finish, because you might think, oh, okay, I'll just come back and then now I'm a smarty arty college dude and I'm gonna kick it with the homies. No, that's an absolute fail. Ask me how I know that. Ask me how I know. You don't want to do that. You want to stay in college, because if you going from a lower socioeconomic and you getting your opportunity to launch and go to college, and you going back home, that is not a good situation. You know what I'm saying? That is just not a good idea.
Hey, Stu, your rent's due, motherfucker! And don't be pulling that falling down the stairs shit on me, you hear? Are you conscious? Shoot, I'm in the same damn thing, to tell you the truth.
So I'm keeping it real with you. I'm telling you, just like a uncle would, tough and hardcore and straight to the point. So now that we have that out the way, I'm not gonna read this any further. I don't the global perspective. Okay, this article here is on my basically my Broke Geniuses Facebook page. I'll put this in the comment section right here. If you want to check that out further, you could do so. The thing is this. This is something that can be improved. Like I said, I'm an outlet for you to improve it if you want to improve it. And you know, if you don't, I mean, it's on you. Some people just, not everybody is technically savvy. Not everybody wants to be into tech. You know, I get it. I understand it. I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna close this out and I'm gonna play you a video of different projects that I have done in a couple years, of span of a few years. Not everything. I just started to make it very poignant to just kind of video record or take pictures of the different projects that I have done, primarily to kind of show people, actually what I do. Like, a lot of people, they don't know uh, that I actually am in technology. And the thing is that, yeah, I've been in tech for over now at least close to 20 years, if not further. So let me show you this video here. Get this to you uh here. Just had it up right there. Yeah, she, her. And don't be shy about explaining, like, kind of promoting yourself. Promote yourself, promote yourself, promote yourself. Don't worry about what people think about you and how people think about you and all of that stuff, man. Promote yourself, man. If you don't tell your story, nobody else really will. Maybe, maybe you can, hope that people can tell your story, but you got to understand, ain't nobody really gonna tell your damn story but and basically it's better that you tell the story than someone else, because somebody might not tell your story just as much as you do. One of the things that I find out is when I start promoting myself, for the most part, people a lot of times, uh people that talk crap about you, when you promote yourself, what happens is those people get pie in the face, because you got people that talk down on you and stuff like that. And when you promote yourself, they saying you retarded, but then when you start promoting yourself, right, and basically showing what you actually know how to do, then the people that been calling you retarded, now they have pie in their face, because you showing how much of basically pretty much expert that you are, and you basically showing off your talents, and they've been telling other people that you retarded. You know what I'm saying? So always promote yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. Don't be afraid to promote yourself. Yo's buffering. You know what I'm saying? Like I be always think, like, I just be thinking the worst when I go right to the worst when I be thinking about stuff, because I'm gonna be honest, like, I mean, I don't know the latency level as far as certain things, but it's like, man, I be almost like be like the people that it behind, like it be like I be thinking like it be like some fucking fucking spies or some shit, trying to make my presentation, messed up, because they don't want me to promote myself. Because I mean, you got to understand, I be thinking like, okay, me promoting, okay, talking about certain issues, I'm literally going against the propaganda. So I'll be like, man, there's some like something here is something kind of fishy. But this is when I had my locks, had my little struggle locks. You know what I'm saying? It's um it's like basically I like locks, man, because it takes a long time to grow, and it takes you some, it's like it's showing that you could, have patience to actually grow your hair out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, like if you are kind of, if you, okay, let's say you one of them dudes that you one of them, maybe you are an IT guy, or maybe you are a nerd, right? And you don't like how much the pookies get all the attention. Well, just grow your hair out. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could blend in, and if you really want to get some of them chicks that like pookies or whatever, I don't know. Some people have their opinion about that or whatever. Grow your hair out, you know what I'm saying? And you might get some of those women, man, you know what I'm saying? You know. So this is my program that I created. I'm still working on it. So this is like one of my first projects, my big projects that I created. It's basically a PC tune-up software. You know what I'm saying? This is like, it's like a really good tool. I used it. I basically created it when I was working for a company that shall not be named. And I basically created this as far as a project. And I was like, you know what? I could use this and that's what I did. And basically, I added some things to it, but this is like something that I created. It's something that I got from my education, my education. So this is when I was working. I was working downtown Chicago. I was working for a company that basically had it was basically a healthcare company. I'll just say that. And basically, I was working in the asset management department. I'll just say that. And basically, my job was to make sure all of these computers here were turned in, imaged, and processed for basically either if they were broken, put them in the repair pile. I would have to get repairs done on them. I would repair some of them if I wanted to, if I had the time, because I knew how to do it. They were it was contract was through Dell. All of these assets were Dell assets. And basically the job was to image all of these assets, bag them up as well, because the employees got a backpack full of equipment and their laptop, right? And then that was basically most of what I did. And then I helped out the team. Like we had a team of like it was like a big team. And one of the things that's unique about this position that I worked, this was the only job where I worked where it was an overrepresentation of black men. It was like mostly the whole department was mostly black. So I have never worked for this with that many black men in my entire life. Like, I mean, I still got some pictures. I gotta find them. But basically, yeah, like all of these guys were black, man. They were black men, smart guys. And yeah, I worked there, and it was a pretty big department because the company was huge. So it was basically a very good paying position, and it was good. I worked downtown, so every day was like I was a tourist every day. Like I was, be taking pictures of this John Hancock building, the Sears Tower. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time. It was a very difficult job because I was very tired like every day because I had problems sleeping. I mean, I had to that's when I figured out about magnesium, the power of magnesium and people being magnesium deficient. But I had to learn that afterwards. But yeah, it was a very good role, very good job. Probably I would say definitely probably top 5 for sure. That was just a project. It was like a 1 day project. I was on tech support with India with some guy in India. It was a hotel, Hilton Hotel. Yeah, and this right here, this is called like in industry terms, this is networking. This is what I leaned into. I'm gonna tell you, like one of the things about tech, right? The easy stuff, most people gonna do it. Most of those jobs are gonna be filled up. So when I said before about like the high tech roles, those pay more because it's more complicated. It's more complicated work. You got to have different skill sets. So the thing is that programming these switches and actually configuring these switches, these are basically you going into network engineering. So I started to lean more into network engineering because that was my highest role that I ever had. Like as far as like I said, I worked for Microsoft. I was a network engineer for Microsoft, and basically A lot of people think that I just was an IT support guy. No, I've worked in higher specializations as well. And this is like one of the things that I've been briefly doing. I've been doing more networking roles, and I let the noobs do the easy stuff. If I can get the stuff or whatever, I do it, but I do the hard stuff because it's those roles and jobs like you can get, and kind of do it, because a lot of people, they shy away from that work because they don't know how to do it or they don't feel comfortable doing it. So I found that if you go toward the harder stuff and you actually know how to do it, you should, even if you don't want to, or if you're kind of not confident about it, you should just do it, because like the noobs is gonna overload the other stuff, right? The easy stuff. So if you lean to the hard stuff and even try to like kind of educate yourself on trying to do other stuff, you can get more, more work, because it's less competitive. That was the before picture. So yeah, like that's what's up, man. This ain't even 1% of what I've done in my like 20-year career. That's like 1%. So not even 1%, to be honest. So like, that was like that was a one job and a couple projects, you know what I'm saying? Like that was all that is. Man, I done done so much in the last 20 years or so. It's ridiculous. So anyway, this is all I have. This is going to be something that I'm going to regularly do, and stay informed, stay tuned. Get into tech, man. Come on, let's go.